What's going on, guys? It's Danny here, and we're going to do Molten Core. This is the first 40-man raid in Classic World of Warcraft. This was my second time ever in a Classic WoW raid, and my first time ever with a well-organized environment with a guild where I was able to kill every single boss. I was shaking almost the entire time. I was really excited, and I made mistakes, but that's okay because mistakes are there so we can learn from them. In this video, apart from showing you the gameplay, the full boss fight, I will also talk about what I had to do as a priest or as a healer in general, so you can understand it better if you haven't played WoW before, or you can have this video as a basic guide as well.
Get on position, we're good.
Worried.
Can mind controlled strike take over. Take over the boss strike.
Not him.
Okay, I have it. It's fine. We got this fight.
The first boss, Lucifron, as a priest we had to buff everyone for shadow resistance since the boss does shadow damage. Apart from healing everyone, had to pay close attention to dispelling. The boss applies 2 debuffs to the raid, one of them is magical, which can be dispelled. And it's very important to dispel as soon as possible, because if it's not dispelled, after 10 seconds it will deal a lot of damage. I kinda had to use most of my mana on dispelling only, but that's perfectly fine. Just make sure everyone is dispelled. And we were also only 4 priests in raid.
You can put Thundercock and Demo Shot.
In this raid I came with a Discipline and Holy Spec. On Discipline I had all the way to the bottom the very last talent called Power Infusion, which increases damage and healing done by 20%, so I gave it to one of the mages to increase his damage.
As soon as the boss is dead, keep healing.
And the first boss went down very quickly.
Rest for mana now. We're gonna pull the dogs.
I have to stay just at max range.
Rank him.
I got feared anyway, what
Yeah,
the
it was
hell?
the first fear, so it's like on...
The second boss, Magmadar, he fears periodically. Dispel it at least. The fear can be outranged. The second fear, you will see how I don't get hit by it. It can be outranged if you stay just at enough range to barely be able to heal, but at the same time away from the fear. The boss throws this fire on the ground.
We're incoming soon.
You have to not stand in it. Okay, I see. People can get feared into the fire. If someone somehow steps in it or gets feared into it, he gets this debuff called Conflagration, which deals a lot of damage per second, so make sure you focus a little bit of healing on that as well.
I won't be able to tank next.
Power Infusion was given to one of the mages again to increase the damage dealt. Here has to happen soon.
Okay, the fear is totally running.
Holy shit, that shield might have saved him. The tank has to tank the boss in a way that is not facing the raid. The boss does like a fire breath, so if it faces the raid, he will hit the entire raid. When you wanted 5% HP, I shielded him. You want the tank only to tank the breath. You're dead, boy. No priest loot. Where is the priest loot, man?
Keywords too. Okay, cool whenever conquer.
The third boss, Gehennas.
I'm stunned. Move from the rain fire, melee, move away, please. Mage is the curse. Move from rain of fire, counter, mage, I see few people on rain of fire. Stop your cast, stop everything when you get rain of fire. Just
Shadow
move
resistance buff from priest up, because the boss deals periodically shadow damage. He throws shadow bolts at people. Also, who gets hit by the shadow bolt, make sure you heal them real fast. As you can see, he does rain of fire, which is a lot of damage, so you need to move away from it as soon as possible. If it happens on a melee range, the tank will move the whole boss, so that the melees can move away from the fire. The two adds that the boss had to be tanked away from the raid because they cleave, and you don't want them cleaving the raid. And this boss was pretty easy actually, just don't stay in the rain of fire and heal people. Good stuff. No priest gear. The fourth boss, Garr, he comes with a lot of adds, those elementals around him. We had two warlocks. The warlocks can banish the adds, and that way we do not have to deal with two of them. If we had more warlocks, it would have been even easier. But initially the adds are tanked next to the raid together with the boss, so the melees and everyone can damage them. But when the adds are getting low HP, when they are about to die, the tanks were moving the adds away from the boss and from the raid, and only the ranged DPS were finishing the adds. That is because when they die, when the adds die, they deal huge AoE damage. They explode. As a priest, you can dispel the Immolate debuff, which is applied to the tanks who are tanking the adds, and heal the tanks. You will lose your magic buffs, stamina, intellect, etc. because the boss dispels them. And he also applies a slow, but it doesn't matter because there is not much moving around, only the tanks are moving.
Move to away, melee, get out of stone. No melee on stone. Range finish stone.
So the skull, the first ad, is moved away and finished by the ranged.
Skull is down.
Don't DPS cross, do not DPS cross, stop DPSing it.
Now the second ad, the cross, the marked as cross is...
cross range. Shoot me. It does 0 damage. Q moon. Range on moon, melee on square.
On square.
Do not kill any ads inside the raid. Range on moon.
Stop on star as well.
I was out of mana, but a nice druid gave me Innervate, which gave me back my mana. So almost all the ads are dead now.
Range on circle, melee on boss. Melee stay out of the...
The last elemental ad is being killed right now, and after that is just kill the boss. Power infusion to one of the mages, increase his damage. Out of mana completely, but it's only the boss left. I do have to improve on a lot of stuff, like I said in the beginning, it's my first time. Mana management is something I have to improve on. The other priest had more mana than me, almost all the time. One thing I underestimated was mana potions. They have only 2 minutes cooldown, so you can use 2 per fight. For example, in the beginning, when I lose 1/3 of my mana in the beginning of the fight, immediately use a mana potion. And later on, before the boss is dead, most likely the mana potion will be off cooldown again, so I can use another. So pretty much spam mana potions is something I was not doing.
Ooh, fighting up.
Fuck you. Fuck you, Mr. Chuck.
Oh damn.
But fucking big enchant though.
Oh my god, ancient. Big sword.
You stay here, so boss.
Holy shit,
Yeah.
look at the sword.
Stuck on diamond.
Like with patterns and shit.
The next boss, Baron Geddon, it was extremely important for me to dispel people as fast as possible. The boss applies a debuff that burns mana, so it's very important to dispel the rest of the healers and the ranged casters. Obviously no need to dispel warriors, rogues, they do not use mana. The boss also applies every 5 to 10 seconds a debuff called Living Bomb, which deals huge damage in a radius around the person that has the Living Bomb. So the person with the Living Bomb has to move away from the raid, which we used this little corner to the left of us to move with the Living Bomb.
Okay, so everyone will stay right here where I am. Don't stay fucking
Okay.
Then disable boss.
No, don't DPS, please. Let me fucking move him first, please.
Chime, you're the bomb.
Yeah, I guess I'm fucking here.
Oh shit, I'm
The raid
dispelling.
adjust. Fucking this. No, move him, do not DPS, let him get out.
Pressing you, boss.
Was dispelling the wrong people. This is a mana burn debuff. Only the casters dispel. Only people who have
Agree
mana.
him.
Oh shit! What?
Melee out.
It's a very simple mistake from me as a priest to die here. Very simple and bad mistake. That didn't kill him, but it killed me.
Strife.
Fire resistance? I should put fire resistance. I did not shield myself.
Spells.
A simple shield to absorb big part of the damage wouldn't have killed me there. I didn't equip any fire resistance at all. Priests, I also had this thing on the fire protection. Priests can help a ton, so the people don't die from the living bomb as well that I took by just shielding them. People are surviving with 2 to 3% HP, but they are surviving because of the priest shield. So if you're a priest, shield the people who have the living bomb and keep dispelling the debuff that burns mana.
Fine.
I will make sure this mistake never happens again. Yeah, you do take falling damage. That's probably what finished me. Nope, you didn't shield yourself. Or I wasn't healed to full HP, I'm not sure.
You have to nuke him really fucking fast now. Stay away from purple. Stay away from purple. Don't go near purple. Okay, raise the dead now. 8, 5, 4.
The next boss, Shazzrah. It does big AoE damage around him with arcane explosions. So I have to heal the melees as well as the tanks. The melee DPS who takes damage.
Sure to dispel Shazzrah as well.
This boss dies very quickly, it's more of a mechanics boss. If it's done properly, it's no problem. It's not a huge DPS race or anything.
He will teleport anytime soon. Get ready.
So we are split in 3 groups.
Kong has it. Move to diamonds. The group who was with Kong, move to diamonds.
When the boss
Kill
blinks,
Kong. Every the curse Kong now.
we're split in 3 groups, and when the boss blinks to one of the group, they will move to the opposite side. The next one, he will blink to my group where I am right now. One thing I didn't do and I should do is dispel the boss. The boss buffs himself with something I can dispel. Shamans can dispel it too. And keep healing the group.
Teleport anytime soon. Get ready. He's with Gnome. The group with Gnome goes to cross. Run away. Stay alive. Observe him.
If you need.
Just stay alive.
Good job.
Don't forget to loot the hand.
Go in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Do
The
not
next
pass
boss?
in position.
Sulfuron. He has 4 ads with him. We have to kill the ads first. They very often apply 2 dots, Immolate and Shadow Word Pain, that as a priest we dispel immediately.
He's about to die.
Very high priority to dispel.
What? Move cross out, strike it.
So one by one we move the ads away from the boss and kill them.
No, stop. Just keep moving.
Very important to dispel.
Dispel people with shower pain.
We didn't put the priest shadow resistance buff on people here for this boss, but it would have helped a lot for sure. Since Shadow Word Pain is shadow damage.
Okay, kill square.
One more ad, and the boss is dead. It's pretty simple boss and very easy. Dies really quickly as well.
Easy peasy. After we kill boss, the people who have the water, they need to go to a Shazzrah and turn in the quest to get the water, and we're gonna have like, you think like 20 minutes will be enough break, or?
Yeah, it should be fine if we get summons.
Okay. Break until 9:40, do not get disconnected.
The next boss, Golemagg.
Pick up your dogs. Give me some time to aggro, please. There is no town here.
He has 2 ads with him.
Gnome has to be second. Give
The-
him time, do not attack.
The core rangers. They have to be tanked away from the boss, because if they are near the boss they will buff him, or the boss will buff them, I mean. But at the same time they don't have to be killed.
Gnome, hit the boss, please. Do aggro.
As a healer it's pretty simple to heal the tanks
I don't have any boss.
that are tanking the boss, as well as
So,
the tanks that are tanking the ads.
but watch your fucking debuffs.
The melees get debuffs. The rogues, warrior DPS. So when they stack up a little bit of those debuffs, it starts hurting a bit. So heal the raid as well, apart from the tanks. People who get those debuffs.
Rogues are getting all of them.
I mean, it's 6 debuffs, you can just move away and wait a bit. 6, 7.
The ads, when they are drop below 50% HP and they are away from the boss and the boss is still alive, they will heal. So there is no point killing them. Tanking them away from the boss and killing the boss.
Now he will stun everyone.
He's supposed to enter like an enrage mode where he stuns everyone, but he didn't do it.
Or I guess not. Retail.
And when he dies, the ads disappear as well. The dogs. Oh, the dogs die when the boss
Oh,
dies.
ingot. A staff of dominance. Really nice.
What drop?
Good.
Ingot.
Your lucky day.
Ooh, what a stuff.
Going 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Send the pet, not first the pet.
Next boss, Majordomo. He has a lot of ads with him. The boss does not have to be killed himself, but the ads, they all have 2 shields. Purple shield, which reflects the damage from melee attackers, and the white shield, which reflects back the spellcaster's spell. You can see some of them are polymorphed. They do not have to be polymorphed during the white shield because it will be reflected back to the mage.
After you kill circle, don't start.
Reissue point for magic.
Also, there are 2 types of ads, healers and elites.
Kali is dead. What was your target, Kali? Call it, man.
The elites are tanked away from the raid because they do huge AoE fire blast
You kill star, you kill triangle.
or fire wave. And the healers, they throw shadow bolts randomly at people from the raid. The boss also does this little teleport and he kills people and stuff. The tank has to get him back to where he initially was tanking him. And I was just low HP and I got hit by a random shadow bolt from the healers. They just throw random shadow bolts, which is why the priest shadow resistance buff is good
Finish diamond, please.
in here as well. One thing from this fight and this whole general raid today, it was my first one. One thing I realized is I do not heal myself. You might have noticed as well, I do not heal myself very often. I just heal others.
Shadow shock.
I need to make sure that I keep myself alive.
Taking damage from that.
If I keep myself alive, I will be able to keep the whole raid alive. But something
taking more than others though.
I realized today.
I feel.
So the elites are just left for the last kills.
Right, dude.
Big healing coming.
Probably from this healer that was here. Yeah, the healer killed me with the shadow bolt.
This flame strike, flame waker healer. Maybe I shouldn't be that close to it, I don't know. Maybe it's hitting me
It was a
with
bit
something.
messy, but
And the boss returns back and he becomes friendly
stay
even.
away from the chest, only punch there.
Was it cleave? I don't
Rest
know.
of it.
Once the ads are dead, the boss also ends, the fight ends. And we are at the last boss. We're going for Ragnaros. Something I didn't mention throughout the entire raid, I forgot, is fire resistance is a thing. Obviously, the raid would know that already. The tanks would not know that. The tanks would need the most fire resistance since they are taking the most damage. And most of the damage in this raid is fire damage. So fire resistance helps. For a healer, not so much needed. If you have a few items that give fire resistance, it can help. Fire protection potion is the most important thing though, that helps a ton. So for this boss, the melee DPS were positioned in a group behind the boss. You will see it in a second when I turn around. And us, the ranged and healers, were positioned all over the place in small groups. A little bit of a ninja pull. The tank is supposed to be the one pulling the boss, but it's fine.
Almost.
I was like here somewhere.
What the fuck?
Wait, what happened?
Yeah, let's go, let's go, let's go.
What? So with my
Don't
position...
go in front of me, Melis. Stay behind me.
Oh! Oh my god, I almost got pushed again, the same thing. I'm pretty much the same way I could have died. The raid healer here, I'm the raid healer.
Don't go in front of triangle, Melis. Stay
I
behind.
do not have to... I do not have to heal any of the tanks. I will focus on healing the raid, specifically the ranged DPS, all the mages, the warlock. You can see above my camera, on the left side, the nameplates of people. The ones that are grayed out, it means that they are not in range of my heals. So I'm just healing the people that are in my range, which is group 7, those 3 mages, group 6, the 2 priests and the druid, and a few more people from group 5. Just have to heal whoever I see in my range. We had assignments and it was just my thing to heal the raid. Are you kidding? And he periodically does this fire waves that I'm gonna die the same way
push.
again. It's gonna be so bad.
We wiped once on this boss and I messed up. I got pushed into the lava and died. So this time my positioning is better and I'm not being pushed into the lava. So the phase 1 of Ragnaros is this pretty much. After that, he goes down for the phase 2 and he summons his sons. His sons come
I don't
out.
see any tanks where I am.
They're going to come out in a second. The sons, we have to not be close to them because they mana burn and deal
Let's get
damage.
some mana.
So we reposition away when the sons come. I was just away from most people with this position, but I was able to keep alive the people that I had to keep alive. So now he goes down and the sons appear. Moving away from them. Innervate from a druid to give me my mana back.
He's mana burning.
I don't have mass out. No, you have the mass out.
Try to give one damage at the end so we can get a
All the fire elemental sons of Ragnaros are being AoE'd down by the
stay. Okay.
son of flame. They're being AoE'd down by the mages and everyone. Mana potion is up. I should be taking it here. I should be spamming mana potions like I said earlier in the video. One thing about classic WoW, these little mana potions have 2 minutes cooldown and they can be spammed.
Yeah, please, thanks. Take it.
Most importantly, the very beginning of the fight. I definitely learned a lot of stuff from this raid.
Keep the mages alive. No mana though.
Stop yourself, guys.
Power infusion is up as well.
Use all cooldowns and like
Gonna try to keep these 3 mages alive. Actually, not only them. Okay. Don't care if I die, I guess. Do they have mana? I need to... Yeah, mages still have mana. Keep alive someone with mana, kind of.
Deep, go.
This priest has mana. The druid has mana.
So move backwards. Same with you, the platform. Move in the back just to nearby clusters.
Kill this fucker!
You shoot loading, just stop everyone else. Okay.
78 damage.
Int going on. Good job, guys. Woo! First kill, good job.
Nicely done.
That was a long kill.
That was crazy. I was shaking the entire time. Look at his weapon. I was shaking so much. It's my first time in the
Ninja pool.
vanilla raid.
Still, don't ninja pull this shit again. Ever.
And it all happened with a ninja pull. They someone pulled it by accident. They were like, go, go.
Or should have did.
Fucking go then.
And everyone come to damage, we're gonna make a screenshot.
And that's it pretty much. That's the entire Molten Core raid. The guild I did it with is called Ambitions. It's a guild from the EU PvP server Firemo. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. As always, a like on the video would be nice. And if you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe. I upload gameplays and a lot of different things. I upload every day pretty much. Don't forget to sub. I also stream on Twitch, so don't forget to follow me and check out the stream when I'm live. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Have a nice day.